This is 5 on Your Side at 6. Focused on you.
New video tonight of a police SUV just moments before it slams into a South City bar. And for the first time today, St. Louis police responded to questions about this crash. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
I'm Kelly Jackson. Mike Bush has the night off. 5 on Your Side's Christine Byers has been following the story for several days. She joins us live outside of St. Louis Police headquarters. What answers do you have, Christine?
Well, Ann and Kelly, the key word here is some. Police answered some of our questions today, and now we're learning that the officers involved in this crash may have run a red light just about a half a block away and seconds before the impact. It all started at about 12:30 a.m. Monday when the police SUV you see here slammed into Bar PM. The bar's owners, Chad Morris and James Pence, live above it. Officers put Pence in handcuffs, demanded his identification, and arrested his husband after they say Morris shoved one of them. Today, more than 60 hours after the incident, a police commander answered questions. Lieutenant Colonel Renee Kreisman says the officers were not given toxicology tests because there was no reason to believe they were impaired.
He admits to getting distracted while driving as he was attempting to change his in-car radio.
What did the black box in the vehicle show?
That the officer was traveling at speeds a little below 40 miles an hour shortly before the impact. Those speeds were decreased to the low 20s upon impact of the building.
Why did it take this long to answer these very basic questions that you just did for us right now? And will this body camera footage be released to the public?
Sure. This is a weekly thing for us, and we give a lot of updates on Wednesdays. So we believe that this was the best time to do it. You know, there is a criminal investigation that is a part of this, and the body-worn camera is part of that investigation. So we cannot release the body-worn camera footage at this time.
At an event Wednesday, Missouri Governor Mike Parson said he disagrees with that decision.
Well, I mean, if you got body cam footage, I'm not sure why you wouldn't release it. In the old days, it helps you just as much as it'll ever hurt you. We'll be transparent about it and get it over with.
Late Wednesday afternoon, the attorney for the bar's co-owners released this new surveillance video. It appears to show the officer's SUV running a red light before the crash happened. We've asked St. Louis police to respond to this new video, but have not yet heard back. Now, the attorney for the bar owners, says that it's unacceptable that the officers involved in this crash were not given toxicology tests, even if that was within policy. Live outside police headquarters, Christine Byers, 5 on Your Side.
A number of Soulard bar owners have a warning for their customers ahead of New Year's Eve. 5 on Your Side's Holden Kurwicki spent the day listening to those concerns and joined us in studio with the latest information about what has them so fired up, understandably, Holden?
That's right, Ann. But it's no secret that New Year's Eve is a big night for business owners in Soulard. But if you bought tickets online for a New Year's Eve pub crawl, you're going to want to double check that those tickets are actually real. Big Daddy's co-owner John Valiff reached out to 5 on Your Side after he was contacted by the owners of Great Grizzly Bear and Dee's Place about a New Year's Eve pub crawl on Eventbrite that claimed to offer free drinks, food, cover, and a VIP viewing of the ball drop without their knowledge, all for the cost of $40 a ticket. After confirming that 4 of the 7 bars listed had never heard of the pub crawl, I reached out to Eventbrite, and the listing was quickly removed as the company looks into the third-party advertisement.
I mean, it gets frustrating when our name's put out there on a product that doesn't deliver. You know, we've been here for 24 years and we value our customers.
An Eventbrite spokesperson told me the company would be reaching out directly to anyone who purchased tickets to that pub crawl. While many of the bars listed on that ad do offer all-inclusive tickets to their New Year's Eve parties, most bars sell them exclusively on their own website. Kelly?
All right, Holden. Developing tonight, a family in St. Charles left without a home after it caught fire in the middle of the night. 5 on Your Side's Diamond Palmer reports from Newtown, where fire officials have a warning about the possible cause of the fire.
When I arrived, the house was heavily involved in fire. I noticed there were a couple of people that were standing out front. They were the occupants of the house.
St. Charles Fire Chief George Sheets says a man and woman in their mid-50s lived in the home and were both taken to the hospital after they jumped from the second floor. The man was treated for a head injury and smoke inhalation. Another man in his 20s was in the home and was not hurt.
The cause is still under investigation. The one thing I will say is they noticed that the area of origin seems to be near the Christmas tree. Not that that's what started it necessarily, but it's always one of those safety things that we talk about at this time of year.
The department's fire captain, Kelly Hunsel, says the biggest challenge was navigating the narrow streets and trying to knock down the fire with homes being extremely close to each other. John Felt and his wife say they woke up to the flashing lights. The couple has lived in this neighborhood for nearly a decade and say people in this community are already wanting to help this family in need.
Newtown's such a close community. The first thing that you see in Newtown is everybody wants to help the family. That's already been put out. And, they'll do whatever it needs, GoFundMe pages or help them in any way with food or whatever.
Hunsel credits the special siding on the home for lowering the fire spread risk.
In this situation, because of the way the house was actually situated on the lot and the fact that the homes around it had cement board siding, what we call hardy siding, as opposed to vinyl, really helped reduce those exposure risks.
Felt says Newtown will be sure to wrap their arms around their neighbors.
I just think they need to know that all their neighbors and friends in Newtown are behind them, and we're all concerned about them. And we're praying for them, and anything that they need from us, just reach out to us.
Reporting in St. Charles, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
A live look at St. Louis Lambert Airport, where it's a busy holiday travel week. Pretty warm here, but if you are heading out of town, the weather could slow you down in places. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has the weather first forecast. Scott.
Yeah, we're pretty quiet around St. Louis at this moment, but boy, out to the west, things are much more active here as you go back into California. That's where flight delays are developing tonight because of this system pushing on shore, and that is going to be our weather system as we head towards Christmas Eve and into Christmas Day. We know a lot of you will be traveling. Tomorrow looks like it's perfectly quiet across most of the Midwest. Dry conditions tomorrow, but here's Friday. Notice the rain spreading through Missouri and into Illinois. We go through Saturday, and there's much less of a chance of rain across Missouri and Illinois. If you have to travel this weekend, Saturday is your pick day. Sunday going eastbound, you probably don't get much, but going westbound, the rain picking up through the afternoon into the evening hours. So that's just kind of a quick look at travel conditions across the Midwest if you are driving. You won't have to deal with snow though, just wet roads, because it's going to be a wet, not white Christmas. Those clouds continue to increase, and again, the rain likely for us Friday and then again Sunday and Monday. More on that in a few minutes, Ann.
The Missouri Supreme Court strikes down a law that bans sleeping on public land.
And tonight we hear from organizations combating homelessness. Justina Coronel reports.
Coffee created by clients within the St. Patrick Center. Sacred Grounds is the newest cafe at the St. Louis Central Library.
The cafe is staffed by our workforce development clients.
The organization believes these are the opportunities to empower.
We're able to put them in sort of a real life scenario.
A contrast from a law they say criminalizes the homeless community.
To be clear, we don't believe that homelessness is a crime or should be criminalized, and we try to focus on how we can get people into housing.
Tuesday, the Missouri Supreme Court struck down a law threatening homeless people with fines and jail time for sleeping on public land.
Just this additional layer of complication in a very vulnerable person's life.
The judges said the law violated part of the Missouri Constitution, which prohibits legislation from containing multiple unrelated subjects. The homelessness amendment was part of a broader bill, which also banned COVID vaccine mandates for public workers. And because those two subjects are so different, the court ruled the entire law was invalid.
My first reaction was awesome, great. Some of the language and verbiage in that bill really criminalized the individuals that needed help the most.
Besides the St. Patrick Center, other organizations such as Hope Nation are trying to help the homeless community by providing resources and shelter.
We'll be housing with this one up to 40 individuals.
Bishop Michael Robinson says the problem is prevalent.
We are trying and working our best to eliminate it, but it is here.
St. Patrick Senior Director of Philanthropy shares as rising costs increase, their work will too.
It's still a challenge here in the community that truly takes a village to help solve.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
The overturned law also prohibited the state funding from being used from permanent housing for homeless people. The lawmaker who spearheaded this provision has left office. So far, no other legislators have filed bills to reinstate the policy.